Can we make this guitar sound like a bass? Okay, so today we're going to talk about turning a guitar into a bass. It's one of those fun little tricks that you learn along the way, and you can do that in Waveform. And yes, I recognize this is not the proper way to do things, and you should actually be using a bass, but today I'm kind of lazy, and I wanted to show you how to do it, so this is what we're going to do. So first things first is we are in our track in Waveform, and it is on the bass track, and I'm going to hit arm on the bass track. My guitar is plugged into the interface, and everything should be set up pretty good. Alright, and just to reiterate what song we are playing, we're going to move our playhead back over here, which I do believe is just a double click. Yes. And then hit play and show you guys what we've done so far. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to pretty much play the guitar strings all just with the one notes here. So currently, when you play the guitar on that piece, it's power chords. It's all just power chords. So what we're going to do is the single main note in that is what we're going to pluck for the bass. So it's all just going to be single notes. Instead of the power chords. And then we're going to try to transpose that into a bass sound. So it's not legit, but it's legit. You get me? Okay, the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and record the bass track with the single notes on the guitar. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, now we should have a bass track. Okay, remember, this little plus sign down there shows you all of your takes. So, I believe the last one is the one I turned off the recorder, so it doesn't really record anything. So, it would be number 5, which is the last actual full recorded take. So, let's hear that one and make sure that's the one we're going to stick with. Yep, sounds good to me. Now, here's where the trick comes in. It is an effect on this little FX thing, and I guess we can make this bigger to show you. There's a little FX tab. If you click that, add effects clip, and then pitch shift, a little blue line shows up. If you click on the little blue line, and then hit the settings button next to it, the little gear, that's where the shifter plugin comes in. And so I'm going to go ahead and write -12 on this area. Okay, so now we're at -12 semitones. And when you play that back, I'm going to hit the X on that. When you play that back, this guitar will sound like a bass. Okay, see, that's how it works. So now that that's done, I'm going to go ahead into the bass grinder, which is the plugin that I'm using, and kind of make it sound how I want, and then probably change the volume up and down a little bit, just to kind of get it where I want it. And then we'll probably bounce this down, much like we did with these original tracking for the guitar, and turn them into prints. We're probably going to do the same thing for the bass track, okay? So that's what I'm going to go into. Okay, that's sounding pretty good there, so let's go ahead and change out the volume. Alright, and that's sounding pretty solid to me. So we're going to go ahead and X out of the console here. And we're going to save our project so we don't lose anything. Save edits. Then we're going to go ahead and bounce this down like we did the other track. So we're going to right click and we're going to add a track. We're going to name that track Bass Print. Okay, and then, you know, I like to change the colors up, so we're going to make it the same green that we've been using, which I think is this one. All right, so then we're going to scroll down here, or actually hit our little F button. There we go. And drag this whole page right here on this page piece and drag it down. It'll render it, and we line it up, lay it down. And it's going to ask you if you want your B wave or your cursor point. You are wanting your cursor point. And there it is. And we should be able to mute both the bass grinder and that track as a whole and still have a really nice sounding bass sound to our song. I'm also going to get rid of this input too as well. I like to be orderly. Okay, and then the only thing that I'd really like to do left is right-click this track and mute it, just to keep everything organized. And since this is a tracking and we're done tracking that, I'm going to scooch it up so that all my tracking tracks are up top and my printed tracks are on bottom. We can also take this drum and move it up to the tracking area as well, so that our song itself is down here, and then if we ever need to drag anything down or re-record something, it's all right there. It's just out of the way. And of course, always save your work. Save as much as possible, because you never know when something's going to go wrong and you need to save. You know, computers these days, they are great, but they do crash. So just save your work, okay? And that's it. That's really all you have to do, is change the semitones with that pitch shifter. There is a similar thing in Studio One called transpose. And it's roughly in the same area. You right click and transpose down -12. I've been using that trick for quite some time, especially like on lazy days that I just don't feel like getting up and switching out an instrument, and I want to hear an idea right here, right now. I will transpose down a guitar just to hear what a bass would sound like and kind of get an idea on like maybe what kind of amp I'm using for that particular song or whatever. So it's just something to think about. Is it professional? No, it is not the professional way to do it, and I'm sorry for that. But, you know, I learned just as much as you guys, and I'm just a regular guy in his bedroom recording music, having fun. So I skate the rules every now and then. The most important thing to do with music is have fun. Enjoy yourself and do what makes you happy. So for today, that was the video. We transposed down a guitar and made it sound like a bass track so that we didn't have to get off our lazy asses and have to switch out to a bass. I believe the next video was supposed to be vocals, but I actually kind of like this as like a little instrumental. So we'll probably move into maybe mixing this next time or something. Not everything has to have vocals, and I doubt you guys want to sit here and listen to me go, ah, for 20 minutes or whatever. So I will spare you all of that. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing all of this stuff. It really means a lot to me. We've had such a positive feedback on the channel. And if you ever want to have a little bit more of me, I do also run another channel called Recall the Podcast, and I'm in a band called Recall the Moment. Recall the Podcast, we talk to musicians over the internet and in person, small bands, engineers, and stuff, just to learn their perspective of who they are, what they do, and why they do it. And it would mean a lot to me if you went and go check that out as well. And until next time, peace and love, y'all.